Welcome to Lanterns Live. It's Ralph. That's the shorter intro. I wanted it shorter. Um, uh, uh, Will is here, which means we're talking about Green Lantern. We're talking about Green Lantern issue 24, which I cannot wait to get into. But first, a couple things, including that. I'm getting an echo. I don't know if you're hearing an echo. Um, the What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I changed the intro because I didn't like the long one. And then lately I've been watching other live streamers and they have the countdown. I used to have the countdown and I'm just like, let's go. Let's start talking. So we'll get into the issue real soon. But before we get into that, as of last month, I wasn't doing shorts. I wasn't doing TikTok. And Will was just like, you should do it. You should do it. Ralph, do shorts, do TikToks. And I'm like, I kind of just, the whole reason I wanted to do this show is because it's live. I don't have to do any editing. I have to do barely any work. Just have a conversation with friends talking about Green Lantern. And that is, I'm happy with just that. But after the episode that we did last month covering Green Lantern 23, I grabbed a video from the Superman Instagram page with it was Nathan Fillion getting fitted for his wig, and I just posted on my shorts, and it got a lot of views.
A lot.
Then, like a lot of views. And then I'm like, okay, let me put some stuff over on TikTok just to promote the channel. So StreamYard, which is what I use, is like able to pull off clips from the show and like set them up in a TikTok sort of video and they look like shit. But I'm like, but that's not a bad clip they chose. And so I'll take those clips and set them up and it'll be a way to promote the show by just doing short clips on TikTok. And I posted some of that stuff. I posted some stuff from a James Gunn interview and all that shit started blowing up. So, Will, since the last time you were here 4 weeks ago, we're now at like 400 new subscribers to the
Ooh.
YouTube channel. And so, like,
What are you up to right now?
thank you. I'm at like 775 or something. I
Almost
think,
doubled it.
yeah, almost. So it's like crazy because I feel like any minute now, I'll get to the 1,000 subscribers within the next few weeks. I'm almost at 1,000 on TikTok, which I just started like a week and a half ago or something like that.
Absolutely insane.
It's crazy, and it's one of those things where I'm just like, I never really wanted to do TikTok because it was another thing that I had to do. But if it brings more people over to the channel, that's great. Um, Someone was telling me recently, my friend Jay, he was on, we were talking about this Guy Gardner superpowers Nathan Fillion action figure, which is fucking awesome. It's a great action figure. He was telling me like he got invited to this. He has a toy channel called Toy Geeks, and he runs Geek Dad Life, and super popular YouTube channel. And he got invited to go to a really cool thing. I can't say what it is, but he got flown overseas to do this sort of influencer thing. And so I'm like, I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated to Green Lantern. I'm the only one. I've looked, I can't find them. If someone else decides to do the same thing and do a live stream Green Lantern show, then I'll just put first. I'm the first Green Lantern. I'm going to try to really play up the fact that this is a premier Green Lantern YouTube channel so that I get invited to stuff. I want, when they do a press junket or any kind of thing for the show Lanterns, I want to be on that list. I really want to be on that list. So I'm like, okay, screw it. Shorts, TikTok, the whole 9 yards. I want to get up there. Speaking of Green Lantern pages on YouTube, Green Lantern podcast, people that are very much established, including yourself, we're smack dab in the middle of GL June,
Yeah.
which you're participating in, and it's great. I watched your episode. You guys are covering Green Lantern Recharge, and
Yeah.
it's been wonderful. Uh, uh, Blaga Oa, Lanterns Cast, Emerald Echoes, and a Mosaic.
Mosaic would be the last one
Dan
after
over
me.
at Mosaic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His episode should drop, I think, next Monday. Most of the guys like record their stuff early, and then we just kind of try to schedule when it drops in June. But with the baby, I hadn't, so I just recorded it the night before. But it's really fun for people who aren't privy to what GL June is. It's kind of like podcasters and content creators that are based around Green Lantern. We get together, we find a run. Really, it's Lantern Cast who finds the run that has 4 or 5 or 6 issues in it, so we can each do one for the month. And the idea is we only talk about the issue that we were assigned. We won't talk about what came before. We're not going to share what comes up in the next ones, so that you kind of spread the love amongst the Lantern fandom, and everybody gets a little bit of overlap with the fans. If it helps with views, it's cool. If it doesn't help with views, it's still really cool just to participate in it. It's just cool to. It's like getting on here. You hop on, you're chatting one of your favorite things in the world with your favorite people in the world. It's just such a good time to talk about Green Lantern in general. I have a blast doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're right at the end of it.
And speaking of which, I have a conversation coming up next week. There's no books to cover next week. Or that might be. I can probably talk about Absolute Green Lantern or Green Lantern Dark. But what I'm doing is I'm taking the time. I believe it's next Thursday. I'll be talking with Donnie over from Emerald Enthusiast. I'm going to start doing Green Lantern Fan Spotlight episodes whenever I get a chance. So I'm going to be reaching out to folks like Mosaic and Lantern Cast and anybody who's a Green Lantern fan. I mean, shit, you can even come on. I know you're on like at least once a month, but we never just talk about just Green Lantern in general. We're usually like focused on one subject.
Are you going to talk to him about like his backstory of how he came into the Lantern fandom and all that?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things when I have a new guest on is asking them where they first like became aware of the character Green Lantern. So it's been a lot of fun. Like for me, it's Super Friends when I was a kid, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun doing that. Donnie's the first one up. So look for that next Thursday. And then the following week, dude, like I just keep adding stuff into my upcoming live streams. So if you head over to my YouTube channel, because you could be watching this on Twitch or Kick, and hopefully maybe soon on TikTok.
I think that's going to be real soon.
Yeah, that might be real soon. And I'm starting to get like notifications from YouTube saying like, hey, get ready to start monetizing some things. So we'll see, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So next week is Donnie, and then the week after that it's going to be my Superman review on Wednesday the 9th, and just it's an early review. I'm seeing it with the Amazon thing on the 8th. And then the next morning, bright and early, 9 o'clock Pacific time, noon on the East Coast, I'm doing a spoiler-free review of Superman. And then the following day on Thursday, because Wednesday night I can't do an episode because I'm going to be at the Warner Brother lot, hopefully, watching it for a second time. But on the Thursday, Vactor's going to be back. We're going to be covering Green Lantern Corps number 6. And then I think the following week is I might do a full spoiler review, and I'm hoping that review includes Chip because I'm still holding on hope.
It would be great for him to be there, and like we've all seen in some of the BTS stuff that they haven't aired anything around yet. There's at least the scene where Superman's kneeling down, and what is in front of him appears to be a squirrel. You can see why Green Lantern fans would make that leap and hope that it is Chip. Yeah. I'm like you. I'm getting to go to the Amazon thing early. It was all sold out near me. But from my Lord of the Rings stuff, I have some friends at Amazon, and I just reached out to see if I could pull some sort of strings. Worst they could say is no,
Right.
and it's not the end of the world. But they were able to get me a ticket for me and the fiance, so we'll be going on the 8th as well. Which,
Well,
again, I don't care about Superman if I'm being completely honest. But the fact Guy Gardner's in this, I was excited because James Gunn seems like he's doing this the right way.
right.
But when you add a Green Lantern into it, and I mean, there's even a new clip just the other day with Guy Gardner in it getting to talk about the Justice Gang. Like I'm getting to a point where my hype, I think, might be getting too high at this point.
Oh yeah,
But
probably.
I'm just very excited.
I don't think he's going to be in it that much, but dude, if you're available at that time, I could send you the studio link for that Wednesday show. I don't
I'm
know.
down, bro.
Okay, cool, cool, awesome. I'll get you that studio link because that Wednesday, that's all I'm going to want to talk about it. We'll try to keep it spoiler free because we know that it's like not everybody got a chance to get a ticket for that day.
Just
But
like general reactions to things. How did it feel? Did it feel like long movie, short movie? How would we rate it? That kind of thing.
what you can expect as far as Guy Gardner's runtime, like how much is Guy Gardner actually in the movie? Because I still think he's going to be like maybe like 5 minutes tops, something like that.
That would be the best 5 minutes.
Dude, I'm so excited, man. There's been so much stuff coming out concerning that. The interview with over at the DC Showcase on Max. Um, James Gunn continually says that Lanterns is looking great and it's grounded, and people are really, really hung up on the word grounded. I think I don't know. I don't know until we see something.
Well, James Hawes, who did some show running and executive producing for Slow Horses on Apple TV Plus, which is amazing if you haven't seen it. He's also working on Lanterns, and he came out recently. There was an interview that he did with a different podcast, and in the interview, he said something along the lines of, we think that the old school fans won't be disappointed. Obviously, we will be grounded, but we will go galactic. Like there will be space stuff there.
Well, let me just bring something up. Uh, for about a month and a half, 2 months, but you were sending me stuff that came through on Reddit, things where it was like, here's where they're shooting lanterns, here's the location they're shooting lanterns, and it was for a good like month or two where those things were getting out. People are posting stuff about latitude. We all know it's latitude, and latitude is shooting in different places. It's been a while since I've heard anybody say anything, which leads me to believe they're in the studio at Warner Brothers in green screen stages, in sets, and they're no longer like out shooting in like outdoor physical locations that already exist.
I I can't tell you 100%
Yeah,
that is true,
it's
but
that's the perception is that.
that
It's,
don't take it from me as confirmation, folks. But
I'll-
mm-hmm,
so here's the thing: when it comes to Green Lantern and information that's out there for Green Lantern, I remember following the Green Lantern movie in 2010, leading up to 2011. And I remember the tweet that Jeff Johns said, "Let's go. I'll see everybody in Hall H on Saturday, and we can all cry, sing Ab Sur, give the ring to Hal Jordan on the big screen." And like Jeff Johns just like boom, boom, all over the fucking internet back when he was on Twitter, and just like boom, boom, info, info. This is great. Showing shots, doing all the stuff. And then like 2 weeks before the movie was released, his Twitter went silent, completely silent. And I was like, oh no, this isn't good. What
not
happened to
good.
Jeff Johns? It wasn't good. So for me, like when I'm seeing like Green Lantern news, Green Lantern news, Green Lantern news, and then it stops, then I'm like, okay, why did it stop? And for me, the fact that there's no more location stuff popping up anywhere on the internet, I'm like, they're on the lot. That's the only thing it could mean, because we know they're halfway through shooting the series, at least. They're probably beyond that now. So yeah,
They are
yeah.
very
So
much at the end, and
that's
filming is definitely supposed to be done in July, which we're right about there. But I think the last
yeah,
comment I had seen from somebody was like they were done with like 5 or 6 of the 8 episodes.
right. And we know that who's playing Sinestro or
Ulrich Thompson.
Ulrich Thompson appeared to be mostly shooting on the lot because we saw him on the lot, which leads me to believe sets.
You know who else we haven't really seen much of in terms of promo stuff for being grounded? We saw that very first shot of John and Hal,
Mm-hmm.
and then we haven't really seen anything of Hal since.
Right. There's been some stuff for, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, he's too old and he's going to die," and that's like the discourse. They're all saying that stuff, but for me, it's like I want everybody to just like calm down, calm down. I saw this in 1989 when people were bitching and moaning that Mr. Mom was going to be Batman. I remember back in whenever it was 2007 or 8 when people were bitching about Heath Ledger being Joker, and that dude won an Oscar for that role. It's one of those things where people get in their own heads. I've seen a lot of people because of that one image of John and of Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler walking down the road, that it's like hard traveling heroes, and it's just like it's one image. we should be we should be okay. And the way I'm thinking, they're saying grounded, the way that James Gunn says grounded, and he's brought it up in a couple interviews, it sounds like it's just not going to be like these are real people.
It's meant to be that this is a real story that you should be able to relate to and understand. It's not going to be completely fantastical or sci-fi where it's like when you watch Lord of the Rings, you know that this isn't our world. This thing doesn't happen in our world. You're not going to see dwarves and elves, but when you watch Lanterns, you should be seeing things that look familiar. They're easy to understand, but there's also going to be, they've said it a few times now, the space stuff is still there. They think they're going to take care of the old school hardcore fan. As far as Kyle Chandler's age, that has never bothered me. He doesn't look his age number. Plus, Hollywood can do things where they make you look even younger through makeup and de-aging technology and all that. I think that he will be just fine. Worst case scenario for these people that are very upset about the like he's old, he's gonna die. Obviously, if he dies, could they still not tell like a really amazing story
Right.
that makes the death somewhat like you want it to move you? If he is going to die, you want it to hurt, you want to feel it. And if we get to that point in the story where he does die and you do feel something, then they did something right.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with different adaptations where you see, like Jessica Cruz is getting her own cartoon show. Other people might appear, but it's going to be hers. I'm okay with in Superman seeing Guy Gardner as the Lantern that we are getting introduced to on
Oh, I'm
this
so
grander
ready.
stage. Like, I do think people eat like Simon's not my favorite Lantern, but if he's in something, I think it's cool that he would be pushed and
Yeah.
maybe be seen by a broader audience that maybe not wouldn't have been as interested in him as before. I feel like Hal doesn't need to be introduced to a wider audience. I think people who would tune into these things know who he is.
Right.
And that's why I think it's cool that, from what we've seen, John feels like the main Lantern for the show regardless. And we've seen more stuff with like BTS of him and the stunt double posting something that got me in trouble and like a couple other things.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see like John get his shine on the bigger screens as well. I have no problems with any of that. Again, I'm a Kyle Rayner stan. I put it in my info at the bottom, and he's not around for any of this. You posted a clip through Shorts and TikTok where James Gunn has talked about not that he's anti Kyle,
No.
but he's not. That's not his Lantern. He's a guy.
Yeah.
Could we still see him down the road? Absolutely. But if it takes us a while to get there, it takes us a while to get there. I'm just happy that we're getting Green Lantern in general.
It's been 14 years. since we had Green Lantern on the big screen, like I don't understand any complaining. Um, just everybody just needs to chill. In 2 weeks, in less than 2 weeks, we'll have a discussion about the start of the DCU. Like this is the beginning, and so like everyone, just cool your jets. We're almost there.
Have they announced when season 2 of Peacemaker's coming out?
Oh, I don't know. Is it August?
I wonder if there will be an SDCC presence around Peacemaker, which between Superman movie and Peacemaker, maybe there will be a Guy Gardner appearance since he's in both at SDCC. Maybe because they'll be wrapping up filming Lanterns in July. Maybe at SDCC we get something Lantern related. Like that'd be really cool.
This is all I want. I want concept art or costume tests of what Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre look like in the show. Like
I don't even need the full thing. You can take a picture of like the torso or like from the side or I don't care. A boot. Show me the boots. If there's any gloves, show me the gloves. Like just I'll take anything at this point. I'm so hyped for Lanterns.
Dude, if they just show like a shot of like a white glove with a ring, like yeah, that'd be something. Which I was thinking, we were talking about the one picture we have from Lanterns that's official, and Kyle Chandler has kind of a pewter ring, like it's like a metal ring.
Yep.
What if that's what a ring looks like with zero power?
A little bit different than this one.
Yeah, but what if that's what his looks like without power?
That'd be cool too. I'm still holding out hope that each of them have their own unique ring.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? I can't wait to see a power battery. Like, give me that. Like, if SDCC comes up and there's a shot of a hand holding a power battery, I want to see what that looks like. I like the movie version. I like the power battery in the 2011 version. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, it was sleek. It was different.
Yeah, but it still had like an overall kind of Green Lantern battery vibe to it. So, like, give me anything. I think James Gunn is doing a panel. It's like an over-encompassing DC panel, and I'm hoping he's just like dropping tidbits. I might be home by that time and just relaying stuff. I'll probably do a live show right after that panel's done. Or shit, even if they're live streaming that, I'll pop in and sit here and watch it with everybody.
React. Yeah. Also, since I was holding this one up, I've seen on Twitter, LanternCast and a couple others were talking about this is the $50 ring directly from the DC shop. That is the movie Guy Gardner ring. There is, at Hot Topic, there's a necklace. And on the end of the necklace, it has a very, very similar ring. The difference between this one and that one, because many people have been asking, well, why don't I just order the $14 one off of Hot Topic and then put the ring on? The Lantern logo is made the same. The metal is a little bit different, but the big difference is you can size this one to whatever your ring size is. The $14 one, I think he said he could maybe slide it onto his pinky, or he couldn't even wear it at all. And then a couple of the guys on Reddit said the same thing. It's cool to have, but it won't fit on any of their fingers. Yeah. And maybe all of us Lantern fans are just a little bit thicker than the average guy. But it seems like, for the most part, that necklace is not meant to be... They knew what they were doing, and they weren't just making it so that you could get a cheaper version of it. But, I mean, if you're putting it on display somewhere, it's going to look the same if you take it off the necklace. So maybe there's that. But if you're trying to wear it for like cosplay reasons or whatever, just to support, that's probably not the right one. Still not as cool as the Kyle ring from way back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
I have the plastic one. I have this glow in the dark promo Kyle ring.
I had somebody reach out a couple weeks ago with I have it in here. Hold on.
All right. And we'll get to the show or the issue real soon. but
Yes, and I cannot wait to talk about that.
I
But
know. I'm
they had two gifts for me that I only had to pay shipping for.
okay.
The first one was this, and hopefully you'll be able to see
Oh, that's like a SDCC bag.
100% that is the SDCC bag
That's amazing.
for the Green Lantern the animated series. The other thing, I'm just when I get it in, I'm gonna do like a professional unboxing video of it. Better than I did for the guy ring. My mind is blown. Um, People are gonna get a kick out of it, big time, and we'll be able to compare a couple things with the new stuff.
All right. Look forward to that. Okay. I don't know how much I want to talk about this entire issue, but there's definitely something I really want to talk about in this issue.
There are three parts of this issue that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Love.
Let's hear them. We can do it in order of.
I'll just scroll through the issue to see which of those things pops up first to make the
Right.
most sense for me. Okay. The first one is obviously my most favorite one. The crew with Kyle, Khan, Silver Scarab, they're riding the Interceptor and they're headed to, another place. But on the Interceptor, somebody, I think it might be the Silver Scarab just based on the coloring of it, asks to Kyle, so you are still a White Lantern? And at this point, we haven't really known what's going on. We know there's a fractured spectrum. Kyle has been a White Lantern in the past, but not always. He's only been in the Green Lantern form in this run so far. And here we are, it's 24 issues in?
Right.
And he answers, and he says, yes-ish, but I have to use willpower to keep all these emotions in check. And she asks, and if you don't, he says, massive power output, potentially dangerous. What I love about this so much is that obviously it's teasing Kyle has, even greater power than what we have been able to see so far because he can access his White Lantern form, which is amazing. But I also love the actual lore reason for why we haven't seen him like that, and that he's using so much willpower just to kind of maintain the status quo so he doesn't have this huge burst of power and potentially become dangerous to everybody around him. That's why he's only been a green. We had that one shot, I think it might have been the first shot of Kyle in this run, where he's got his knees up to his chest and it looks like he's shaking, and he has all these different colors flowing through him. So from there, we've been asking, what does he have access to? Is he only a green, or does he have all these? Why isn't he using any of the others? And he explains it here, and I just love it so much that, he's getting that White Lantern nod still. Everything about this, I love.
So when I posted the thing with James Gunn talking about Kyle Rayner, a lot of people, of course, and he said in the interview this was going to happen, that all the Kyle Rayner fans are going to come out of the woodwork because Kyle is their favorite. Me, myself included, you included. Kyle Rayner is a lot of people's fans, there's a lot of fans of Kyle Rayner. And what ended up happening is on TikTok, I got a lot of responses of people saying why they love Kyle. Kyle's so great. And a lot of people brought up one of Kyle's greatest runs was New Guardians when he was the White Lantern, and I agree. I think New Guardians was a highlight of the New 52 era Green Lantern books. I love Kyle as a White Lantern. I would love to get one of these DC superpower guys. Todd's losing the license, so hopefully he can get a couple of Kyles out there before it's done, because I would love just a regular suit Kyle and a White Lantern Kyle. Just keep pushing them out. So when this issue was going and it was revealed that he was still basically a White Lantern, he's just using green to sort of keep it all contained. I was like, holy crap, dude! Kyle's he's awesome. It's so funny because he started from a place where he was doubting everything. The Green Lantern Corps were gone, and he was the only one who's the torchbearer, and he
Yep.
had all this this stuff just dumped on him. Like he had to take everything on his own, um, and he had a lot on his plate. And it's really cool that like now where we're at is he's kind of like the most powerful. Like if he's
That's
running
how I
White
view him.
Lantern, he's got everything, every color of the spectrum, and he's holding it in um, by sheer willpower, which is nuts. So that's like a huge deal. Um,
When you think about the power scaling of what he is doing right now, like this is how I was thinking about it earlier. We have seen through this run and through the Green Lantern Corps run so far, the Green Lanterns have gone out in the world and found people just absolutely filled with rage who are not Red Lanterns, but they are able to access that spectrum because of how much rage they feel. Somebody has accessed fear. There was a new, I think, what was it, despair or something like that, in one of the recent issues where it was a new version of a fractured spectrum. These are just powerful people who are struggling to hold their emotions in. And up until this comment, outside of that very first time we saw Kyle where he was shaking, it looked like at that point he didn't really know how to handle things. And since then, he is just using so much willpower. He just has so much willpower in himself that he's been able to make it look like everything's been fine for him since that point. Like,
right.
Just the power that this dude has is just so impressive, and it just makes me feel good that this is mostly a Hal Jordan run, and Kyle is in it, but it makes it feel like you're still. Jeremy Adams is doing his due diligence, and he's doing a great job handling the secondary characters and still making Kyle feel like a good Green Lantern. To me, my favorite, bestest Green Lantern, or just best Lantern. I know Sinestro likes to say he's the greatest Green Lantern, but I just love how much they're giving Kyle in this run still, and still they're not making him seem weaker. Like, to me, it's just super impressive that he's having to use all this willpower where everybody else, like even Kilowog, flipped from a green to a yellow for a bit. Razor is currently a green instead of another color in the spectrum. So it's just really cool to see how Kyle, like the explanation for it, I like. I've got to ask, though, because this is one of the panels in this run that I really love. Just to the left of our three like hero panels where they're talking about Kyle being a green, we see the Interceptor. Are we happy with the direction the Interceptor's facing?
No, no. And I have thoughts. I have an easy fix for this, and I'll talk about it when we get towards your third favorite thing in this issue. I'll get to that in a bit. But here's something that I enjoyed, and I don't know if this is on your list of 3 things that made you really excited, but we've been talking about this fractured spectrum, and like there's sort of this new spectrum that has equivalent colors to like the regular spectrum, and in this one we kind of get the alternate version of avarice. We get the other side of orange, which is
this was my number
happiness.
2 thing I really loved in this issue.
That's what I assumed, is this happiness. And this is such a weird story. Like these guys are supposed to be out there saving the universe from Starbreaker and like sorrow and all of this shit. And Hal, being Hal, just wants to be with Carol. And so they're in the streets getting these low rent crooks that are literally like they have like stripes, like they're just like criminals who broke out of prison. And Carol uses a car to knock them out, and then they have them hold in the jail cell while they have this whole conversation. And these guys are like, can we just go back to jail? So it's such a funny thing where it's this like weird, I'm like, why are we here? It reminds me of Lanterns, the show, and the information we know, where it's like, why are there 2 Green Lanterns, 2 the most powerful people in the DC universe, like going to investigate a murder in Nebraska. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why
Of
is
all
Hal?
places. Why and why two?
Yeah, and so I'm like, it's so that's in my brain while Hal and Carol are just like taking out these good old fashioned like jailbirds, um, full on stripes. It cracked me up. But they take him to the prison, and the prison is something is off, and you like just in the writing and the art, you're like, yeah, something's off. And Carol's like, hey, something's off.
And she said, because she's been working with the Justice League, she's like, when Batman told me, like, when you feel like something is off or out of the ordinary, that's something that you should investigate.
Right.
I'll give him credit too, because my original where I thought it was going, obviously I knew something wasn't right here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be that the criminals got out of their jail cell somehow and took over the prison.
Mm.
I didn't know that it was going to lead to this, which I thought was, one, a nice surprise for me, but two, a better take on it. The fact that they flip it and it's everybody's just so happy and they're in a good mood. And as they're just walking through and they're going to go get a little bit of food also so Carol can investigate what's going on, even the prisoners are like, hey guys, how's it going? Like, good to see you here. Like, being very, very cordial.
Yeah.
They're so happy they didn't even feel the need to like escort the lanterns around to make sure that they didn't go somewhere specific. So they went where they were reading like an energy signal coming from like a basement area. They go down there, and there's a doctor who looks to be in a fantastic mood. And on the table,
Okay.
the most cute, adorable axolotl that has this energy around it, and you find out like this is where this fractured spectrum has somehow gone into this creature and become, instead of sorrow or despair, we now have happiness, and everybody's so happy here because this creature's here at the time.
Right. The thing I loved about this is Carol and Hal are going down deep into this prison, and they open the door, and you cut to the next panel. It's a full page spread of just a dude, and I'm like, wait, who's this? Like, it's such a like bait and switch. Like, we see this in every comic. Every comic book does this, where you turn and it's a giant thing of like Starbreaker, or it's a giant thing of who like Hector Hammond, or it's a
Somebody you
giant,
should be scared of.
right. And it's just a random guy, and I'm like, am I supposed to know who this is? And I'm like, I guess not. Like, what a crazy thing to do is just like add this huge splash page of a guy who's just literally like a guy you've never seen before, and he doesn't look particularly special. He's just wearing a lab coat. And for me, I'm like, that's really good. It also kind of put my guard down for your third thing that you're going to want to talk about. Because when that came, um, I'm going to tell you, dude, I don't read comics and get emotional. I do not.
We're on the same page.
There's one time, and I brought this up on TikTok this week because Patrick Gleason followed me on TikTok and weighed in on Kyle and Guy, saying that they were so much fun to work with. And I told him, I said, the only time I ever cried at a comic book was Green Lantern Corps. I believe it was 42. That one single page shot of Kyle laying dead in his ring.
Yeah.
I read that. I was at home by myself, and I was just like devastated. And I'm like, what am I doing? It's drawings. Like, this is so stupid. I'm like, I'm misting up because of drawings. Just brought it up. Never happened to me before. Never happened to me since, until today, when I didn't cry, but my eyes got real glassy when I turned to the last page. And you can tell me what your third thing that made you happy was.
Yeah, because we were obviously cooking in the same kitchen on this issue. And so Kyle and Co, they're walking through this area where there's like green light arrows lit up on the ground telling them, please go this way, please go this way. Eventually those arrows stop. They get to like the end of the corridor, and they look, and there's like this big cylinder. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, thank you. I was like, I was trying to figure out how to describe it earlier when I was talking to my fiance, and I was like, like that thing at the bank that they shoot the slips through? It was like one of those, and it's
It's
just
like in
loaded
Green
with
Lantern
green.
it's like Green Lantern the animated series when they extract a little bit of ion.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So right as they get to it and they're trying to figure out what is inside of this thing, they turn around and there's this really cool panel where you see the Manhunters, and it's just Kyle looking over, and it's just loads of
Great
eyes
shot.
in the background. Awesome shot. Like the artistry in this, the way that it's drawn, the way that it's colored, I love this. And we get to, back to Hal and Carol and all that, but we were going to skip past that and past the fact that eventually happiness turns into avarice, and you see all these people start glowing orange. So I was kind of hoping for a Larfleeze appearance, but maybe we'll get that later. But the big thing in the issue was that on the very last panel comes Aya, and we finally get Aya back from Green Lantern, the animated series. Everybody associates her with Razor. We know Razor has been in the comic run for a bit now. Obviously, he's going to be looking for her. We finally we had Razor, we had the Interceptor. The one thing we were missing was Aya. And when I hit this page, I was same thing. I didn't cry, but even like now, like I'm looking at it
It's
again for the
it's
third time
nuts.
today. I feel like just like a sense of emotion. I don't even know how to really describe it, but it's just so happy to see her back. Hopefully she gets to meet up with Razor, because that's ultimately what I want for her and for him. And maybe we can get back to like that team up again.
Even when Razor showed up in Young Justice, the Aya thing still wasn't resolved.
Correct.
And I think whatever that was, the Justice League action or whatever it was that had like Aya in the background, like that felt like it was just like an Easter egg for animated series fans. But dude, so like this is the first time, like, and the lead up with all the panels of her coming together like in the show, but like more detailed. So like the way that Aya's portrayed here, this is the first time we're seeing her in a comic, other than like Green Lantern the animated series comic book adaptation. And she looks just like the show, but more intricate in the drawings. There's more like detail around the legs and all the different parts and stuff. But it is 100%. It looks like Aya, and look at I love like the pieces still about to form on her left hand there. Um,
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even catch that when I first looked through it earlier.
like it's like we were expecting it. We were expecting it. We ever since when Kilowog and Razor were dealing with sorrow, and they have a conversation about her. They don't say her name, but us being the animated series fans, like knew who he was talking about. And I don't know how many readers of Green Lantern have actually seen the animated series, but I mean, for Jeremy Adams and Xermánico to make this the big final end page reveal felt so like personal to me. Like it felt like we're rewarding the fans who were there 14 years ago every Saturday watching that show. Like
Which
if
Jeremy worked on. For people who haven't been around or watching this channel, if you're new, we've talked about this a bunch, but he worked on the animated series. So there had been things that we had seen in this run and a couple of the other like side issues where it's tied to things that made you think back to the animated series. And I'm not one for nostalgia bait. I don't like, again, I talk about Lord of the Rings. When the new Hunt for Gollum movie comes out, I don't need to see all the old actors reprising their roles that they were in 20 years ago, because they're going to look way different now. And I would just prefer new ones. Nostalgia is not a thing I need. I'm open for adaptation. This is like the perfect nostalgia bait. It felt like such a reward for having gone through this run so far, which has been great, but also having the animated series. I was just looking up to see, where I had the DVD, because I was going to tell people, if you haven't watched it, watch it. But there's currently no place to stream it at the moment. I think you have to like rent it or buy it through a streaming platform right now, or have the DVDs. And if you can go get them, because you never know when streamers are going to take stuff off and when they're going to put them back. But if you got the DVD, you always have it. But this just felt like the perfect, like, sometimes when you know something is coming in a story, it doesn't have quite the payoff that one would expect because it's like foreshadowed so much.
Yeah.
This still hit 100% for me.
Yeah. And I'm wondering how it hits for non Green Lantern animated series fans. Like, if did they open that up and be like, wait, so I got this reveal of a random doctor, and now a reveal of the random person I don't know because they haven't been in the comics before. Like, is that the thing? Come to think of it, so Jeremy Adams wrote Blue Hope in Green Lantern the Animated Series. He also wrote the episode Scar, which I believe is the episode with the cylinder where she pulls out a bit of ion to input into the AI. So he's really, really, like, if people want to like go back and figure out who this character is, like, he could send them right to his episode. So it's great. Dude, so like, I'm hoping all those kids who watch Green Lantern the Animated Series and Young Justice and who were just clamoring on Tumblr and Twitter and everywhere they could, like, save Green Lantern the Animated Series, all of those kids, I hope that they catch wind of this series and start reading this book, because this is my hope. First of all, I mean, Razor and Aya, we're going to get a reunion, like a full-on reunion.
We have to.
Which we've been waiting for again, like 14 years. Like, this is...
Yes.
Like, this is it. It's happening. Also, like, for me, personally, like, let's get a Razor and Aya, like limited run series.
Also, as somebody who is a sucker for collecting things, I think Razor hasn't had any sort of official action figure since like
the McDonald's toys.
Early 2000. Yes, exactly. The McDonald's toy, which I don't know how well it holds up today, but if somebody has one and you want to be cool, like my bag guy, and send me a bag, I would absolutely love to have it. I think Aya has never gotten anything. Like, here she is in this run. McFarlane, you're at the end of the rights to be able to make these Green Lantern figs. If you want to make one, I for sure 100% would buy one.
Okay, so I'm going through my box of stuff, and that's all we've got.
Oh, bro, still very, very, very jealous. Like, to have that is really cool.
He doesn't light up anymore.
I didn't expect him to light up anymore. He called him McDonald's grease.
Yeah. I'm gonna go around here for one more thing. Hold on. Where is it?
You're good. While he's going through that, at the bottom of this page, because this was the last page in this issue, to foreshadow what's coming up next, it says, the race to finish Lanterns is on. As the Starbreaker supremacy begins, also, it says, an epic crossover with Green Lantern Corps begins in the oversized 25th issue. So the next one we're getting should be an even bigger issue. I don't know if they mean that there's going to be like, will Green Lantern Corps still get their issue and Green Lantern get their issue, but it's going to be a bigger one? Or will we skip a Green Lantern Corps issue and just kind of combine them with this? Either way, bigger issues, I'm all for it.
I mean, should I get you and Vector on to cover this crossover 100%? There's this dude.
Oh, my fave. I love Kilowog so much.
This guy's little construct can open and close.
Yeah, when somebody reached out about the bag and the other thing, I went down a rabbit hole on eBay just typing in Lantern names and like toy or merch or like plush just to see what else was out there that, I hadn't seen in so long.
Did you ever get one of these from the WB store?
Yes. Yeah, I have one of those, and I think I have like a bear that I gave my fiance that's Green Lantern decked out.
Yeah, I love the embroidered ring. Yeah, I just have this box just full of random Green Lantern bits, and like we all had that, dude.
Best
I
boy.
just this is such a cool file. I just have so much stuff. My friend, oh, my head fell off. My friend made one of me, like a custom. I don't know where my head went. But dude, like, did you ever get this one? The Jack in the Box toy?
No, that looks so cool.
He also doesn't light up. I mean, you might just go look it up because this is a really it's like almost like a Bruce Timm style
I
and
just posted some Hal Jordan Bruce Tim art the other day, and that does look 100% like in line with it. God, look how cool they all are. I just love the Lantern mythos, man. It's action figures,
right.
plushies, the comics, the movies. Even if you didn't love them, like there's just so much. And
Yeah.
like one of the reasons I love Kyle is because he kind of took making constructs to another level to show you how limitless making a construct, if you can imagine it, if you can really hone in on it and think of it, you can make it. Which I guess I want to say Donnie did a good job the other day in a video where somebody had asked, or they were saying that like Superman movies cooked and Green Lantern fans are done. Look, Guy Gardner made the middle finger construct and the hand construct, and it wasn't even attached to his ring. And Green Lantern shouldn't be able to do that. And he made a video debunking that they are able to make constructs that aren't attached to them pretty much throughout their history. It's happened. Like I don't know where people got that take from,
Yeah.
but it's 100% within reason for Guy Gardner to be able to like make the hand go and not be attached to the ring. It doesn't need to be. You should do a video one day just going through your box. I love that. It's like
And I
a
wonder
like
if,
a like a shield.
yeah, but the thing is, so I should open this up. There's a screw. There's a battery. This should light up. And it goes right on there and it kind of makes this glow.
It's funny because I have a guy who's working on 3D printing a bunch of stuff for me, and one of the things that he's 3D printed is a ring, and you attach a little thing to it, and it makes like a glowing shield in front of you too.
That's great. Oh man, that guy's gonna be noisy. Dude, this box is so funny. Oh, here's the Hal from the animated series.
Yep. Yeah, that was the first one I saw on eBay, and then sort of clicking through all the other pictures because I was like, surely they made an Interceptor and an Aya, and I saw
They
an
made an
Interceptor,
interceptor.
but not Aya.
So let me tell you this. Jeremy Adams, Xermánico, editors at DC. Next issue, you have an opportunity. Aya gets into the interceptor and says,
Oh my god, yeah.
why have you been flying this backwards? You're damaging stuff. You've been flying this in reverse. Here, this is why you're not able to use the warp coil or whatever it is. She has to bring up the fact you guys are flying it wrong.
You know that meme where it's like you have the chance to do the funniest thing? This
Yeah,
is actually that. It would make
yeah,
so much sense.
right. I don't know if it'll happen because in this issue they put thrusters on the front of the interceptor, which is now the back of the interceptor. It'll be great if she says like, she's like, I need to fix your modifications. They're all wrong, and she completely fixes everything. And we are happy Green Lantern fans. And the interceptor will now fly the correct direction.
I think if they went that route, and I don't know how far out they write these, and then how much they see like the feedback from the internet comments and all that have pointed out the direction. I haven't seen like Jeremy take to Twitter or anything and be like, guys, just hang in there, hang in there. But if they go that route, I think for even the most hardcore fan, all would be forgiven if that was actually what happens, and they fix it going forward.
Yeah, one of these guys.
Aw.
It's a little. He's got a little punching bag on top of this little Hal.
Oh, I like that one actually.
I don't even know where this came from.
Yeah.
Like people give me Green Lantern stuff. I have this giant. Like he's a big look at him next to the superpowers. Like he's a big giant John.
John would do that sometimes.
This is I found the other day, and I actually like it quite a bit. Do you remember that game Scribble Knots?
I love Scribble Knots. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the Green Lantern Scribble Knots.
I think I only downloaded that game and tried to play it because they had released like a DC patch where like
Yeah,
a whole
and I
bunch
would
of
just keep
heroes showed
typing,
up.
like you can type in like Kyle Rayner, and Kyle Rayner will appear. It
Yeah.
was like nuts. You can write anything. But yeah, someone I think my wife found this and gave that to me. He's got a little dot where for a ring. But yeah, I like that little dude. He's my little dude. This is just turning into show and tell. Let me see if I can find something really, really weird and cool. Maybe this is, I don't know if this might be a Happy Meal toy or something. Again, I'm gonna.
It would have to be from that same run, right?
You can make him go up and down. No, this is like a Justice League.
Yeah. That is from a bygone era where McDonald's toys, Burger King toys, the collaborations they did when we were younger were on a different level than what they are now. Like I remember Burger King did a Pokemon card one where they released like a handful of Pokemon in a Pokeball, and the card was like plated in fake gold. It was like the coolest. Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels. So yeah, I have two of these.
Just in different sizes.
Yeah. They're great. Yeah, this is the random box. This is like full of Green Lantern stuff that I picked up because, you know, like the last like 25 years or something. Like I would say pre Jeff Johns, pre Rebirth. Like if you found a Green Lantern thing, you had to buy it because it didn't come out that often. So I just want to say, like, dude, like I'm so fired up for this book. Jeremy Adams, you're not watching, maybe you are, I don't know. Thank you so much because this issue was amazing. You said before we started recording that you were thinking like this might be your favorite issue of the series so far, in a series that's like really, really been like top tier, like probably the best version of Green Lantern since Jeff Johns. It's up there with Venditti and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think it has been the most consistently good series that we've had in a long time for a main Green Lantern run. Yeah. There might be some other ones where the highs might have been a little bit higher, but they probably had more frequent lows through this 24 issues so far. And then, I don't know, you're probably up to like 32-ish if you count all the side issues between Night Terrors and some of the other crossovers that have happened. I think there's only been like 2 issues where, in my opinion, I would have given them like a B. They weren't bad issues, but they felt like filler issues. And everything else has been really, really good. And this, not just because of the high moments, like obviously those help, but I just feel like when you get Jeremy Adams and Xermánico together and you give them time to just do their thing, you get rewarded. And I think DC knows this because DC had a great run for him writing The Flash and then moved him over to this. And then while this has gone on, they inked him to like an exclusive 3-year deal for him to keep writing for DC. Like they know what they have. And I am very grateful that he is the guy leading the charge for Green Lantern fans through this run.
Yeah, he must have a great plan because we've been talking about like, oh, what are the fractured spectrum emotions going to be? And here we are. The next month we got happiness.
we just talked about that. Like, what else could there be? We haven't even seen what the last guy can do yet.
Yeah,
we've only gotten a taste of like what sorrow can do, and now we got happiness for a bit before it switched over to a more extreme emotion of avarice and feeling that greed.
And the thing that makes me the most happiest about this series is it feels like Kyle's really important to the story.
Yeah, this 100%.
Yeah, this whole thing that they're setting up with him and, you know, being able to wield everything. I mean, will he be able to, I don't know, crazy theory, dispel the other spectrum that he's holding in and pass them on to other people? Is he basically like, is he one of the Parallax or Ion, or is he one? Like, is he basically holding those things in
Yeah,
the?
like if you think about it, it's if Kyle can tap into all of the regular spectrums that we know about, can he also tap into these fractured? Like, is that the story that they're going to go with Kyle, where he can tap into sorrow, he can tap into happiness or whatever? Because we saw in this issue itself with Carol, Carol links up with that axolotl, and she's able to cancel out the effect of what was going on at that prison.
Right.
Could Kyle, her and Kyle talk about it, and then he's like, oh, well, I can tap into all these other ones, not just your main emotion. I think I might be able to go around canceling out some of these other ones too. Like, there's so many directions that he can go with it. And that's a great point I forgot to bring up. So just awesome job talking about that.
It's one of my favorite things with the with Jeff Johns' Blackest Night that then went over the into the series of Green Lantern animated series. Was we know that Blue Hope amplifies willpower. We know that Blue also squashes Red, and there's
The
like
rage. Yep.
it's almost like a rock paper scissor effect with that spectrum, and it's interesting to see that Love can like knock out happiness, which is a crazy thing to think. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like heartbreak, maybe. That's
Yeah. Well, I mean, it snapped them out of that happiness, and then
yeah,
they were good for a minute before all of a sudden that avarice started kicking in and making them go,
yeah,
no, the axolotl's mine, mine, mine. As soon as I saw
so
that little
good.
bubble, I was like, they're going orange. Oh, I would really love to see Larfleeze.
Oh man, so maybe the introduction of that Doctor character is oh, God, he's so great. Maybe he's the Larfleeze of Earth, like of this thing. So maybe that one page splash where it's just that dude, like who knows, by this time next year we're gonna be like, man, remember when we first saw that guy? Like maybe that moment is actually important.
Yeah, that might have been it right there. Maybe they
Yeah,
Hector Hammond him.
great. Love it. Dude, um it might be my favorite issue of this run, which is saying a lot because it's been an amazing run. I need to get Jeremy Adams on here.
Yeah, you do.
I really do. I'll reach out. I'll reach out to him. We can do a chat because I have a lot of things to say. And I'm excited. I want to check one thing too. But dude, like we say it every time that it's such a good time to be a Green Lantern fan, and like every single week it's getting better and better. And anybody who has any sort of feels the need to like bitch and complain, like you guys don't know how good you have it. Like this is like I'm feeling like I did in 2011 leading up to the movie, where it was like Green Lantern's the biggest thing. Green Lantern's the biggest thing.
I definitely
Um,
feel like we've been on the up for a bit now, and it feels really, really good.
yeah, yeah. I remember like the Grant Morrison run. I was like, okay, well, Green Lantern's like sort of has a book with like a great writer and a great artist, and we're really getting into like really top tier Green Lantern taken seriously. And now, like since then, like with Jeffrey Thorne and stuff, maybe took a little bit of a dip, but now, like the past couple of years, it's almost been like 3 years now. It's been just a little over 2 years that we've been doing the Jeremy Adams stuff, and it's been just amazing, absolutely amazing. Will, you want to do some plugs? You have anything coming up?
Yeah. I may do on my channel. Y'all wouldn't need to come tune into this, but I may do my own because of how much I love this issue. I may actually just do my own breakdown of the entire issue on my channel. Outside of that, kind of like you plugged earlier, I was part 4 of 5 for the GL June series that we were doing this year for. I think Mosaic Comics will be the last one to go in a week. If y'all could check that out, you'll probably find me in the comments there. But yeah, check me out here. The biggest plug I want to give today is just I've told you this through text before, but I'm just so proud
Dude,
of how well you have jumped into the online content creator portion of the Lantern fandom. You are so passionate about it. It's one of my favorite things is to like have a news drop somewhere about Green Lantern or an action figure comes out or whatever. And I text it to you and you come text back and you're like, you can tell you're fired up and really, really excited. And then, like you said, I was like, you got to try shorts. That's YouTube's pushing that. It'll help get the subscriber count up. And then if you can convert even a percentage of those people who are watching shorts into the people who watch either the live streams or just watching the video on demand after they're done. Same thing with TikTok. Like if you're making shorts, you might as well also post them to TikTok. Why not get rewarded, not having to do double work? And to see the numbers go up and the subscribers go up and like, you send me a screenshot of something when it's at like 1,000 views, and then before I go to bed that night, just a few hours later, it's at like 8,000 views. It feels crazy. Very good for me to see somebody I consider a friend absolutely thriving, and you're well on your way to being able to, monetize this channel, be able to stream to TikTok the same time you're streaming as everything else, and just helping spread the word of the Green Lantern fandom. I never look at anybody like they are competition for what we do. Anybody who wants to talk about Green Lantern, you are welcome in the fandom. Even if you're a content creator who might take views away from X, Y, or Z, I don't care. If people are tuning into your stuff and they're engaging in a positive way and they're having fun and they're enjoying Green Lantern, we all win. We all win. So I just want to say, I'm very proud of you. If y'all folks do have these other social medias like TikTok or whatever, definitely follow this man. Give him a follow. He's been doing absolutely phenomenal work, and it deserves to be seen.
It's so funny because when I do send you the screenshots, I always feel like, oh my gosh, he's probably sick of this because it looks like I'm gloating. Like, look at me. Look how great my numbers are. It's totally because, like, it's me being like, holy shit, you were right. Like, this is really, really helping me. Look at this. Like, again, like I've doubled my viewership on YouTube in the last month. And like the numbers on those shorts are insane. They tend to gravitate more towards the ones that I just like repurpose from somewhere else. But there's a few that have some pretty good numbers where it's like, hey, listen, people are complaining about or don't know why James Gunn of all the characters in the Green Lantern universe would pick Guy Gardner as the person to introduce the Green Lantern Corps in the DCU. And so I'm like, I know why he picked Guy. And so like that one where I talk about why he chose Guy and who Guy is and why he would pick Guy to be in Superman. Like that one has a lot of views, and I was really proud of that one because that was the first one where like I made it. I gave my case. I put in some examples of Guy Gardner being the asshole and why he's perfect in this story. And I'm glad to see like that one's going instead of just the ones that I'm like repurposing from like DC Showcase. Which, by the way, go to DC Showcase and watch their whole James Gunn interview. Watch our interview with Nathan Fillion. They're doing a lot of great stuff. Maybe I'll go grab some Nathan Fillion stuff. I haven't seen a lot of that on the internet, and maybe I'll put those up on TikTok too. I kind of have been having fun grabbing those interviews and reformatting them to a TikTok orientation, the vertical orientation and stuff. It's been a lot of fun, pretty easy. And there was one thing I did that somebody mentioned on the YouTube version where James Gunn's talking about Kyle, and for me, when I hear Kyle, I think of Rayner, but he was talking about Kyle Chandler. And so I made sure I put a picture of Kyle Chandler in that shot, which wasn't on the original. It wasn't on the original interview, but I'm like, let me make sure people know he's talking about Kyle Chandler and not Kyle Rayner. And so it's been fun doing those. I've been sort of like streamlining them because the one I did about James Gunn picking Guy Gardner, I think took me like 2 hours to make, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do 2 hours to make a TikTok. But since then, I've been like really being able to streamline stuff. So look forward to more.
I think the hardest part is just figuring out how big to make the assets that you're using, and then once you have kind of like that template set up, then it's kind of plug and play. Like I use Canva usually. I'll edit in something else, but then I throw it into Canva after just to they're drag and drops. Like if you have a video in a spot and you just drag the new video over it, it puts it the same dimensions as the previous one or same cropping style. But yeah, it's just also the affirmation of like, you make your content, you see a number and you go, okay, well, 60 people tuned into this, live today or whatever. Like that's good, and you're happy with it overall. But you do 60 again next week or 60 after that, and you're like, is anybody really tuning? Like you start to question it a little bit, and then you drop something Green Lantern specific, and you just see the number pop off, and it just makes you want to go harder because you realize that audience is there. There's a thirst out there for good Green Lantern content, whether that's in short form or long form. There are people who are wanting to find Lantern stuff, and it just feels good to see that number reflect that.
Yeah, someone's walking on our apartment roof, and it was freaking me out. I'm like, are we having an earthquake?
Could be Ab and Sur.
Oh, hopefully not the Absolute Lantern version.
It's a lot scarier than the Ab and Sur I'm used to.
Yeah, for sure. Ab and Sur guy up here.
Feel like you just got one of everything around there.
Oh, my 12-inch Green Lantern Corps. I'll knock down so many guys, but I have the Ab and Sur head on it right now. It was the one that came with. It was these heads. These guys. You ever see these? You could swap out the head.
Yeah.
I usually have Hal, which this is a cool one. This Hal's cool because his mask comes off and he looks like.
Oh, that's actually pretty unique for those.
Yeah, he looks like Clint Eastwood. But yeah, the little mask with the wide eyes just fits right on there snug. Anyway, dude, okay. I gotta get going. We've been here too long, but we're just excited about Green Lantern. Thanks again for joining me. We'll be back for that super issue, I guess, and issue 25. Looking forward to it. Oh, is that the issue with the double page spread with the double H cover where it's like Kilowog's in the foreground?
Yeah, I think it is. Great. Yeah, that would make sense for that.
So
yeah,
good. That artwork's so good. I look forward to that. And head over to YouTube if you're not there already, and go look at all of the upcoming streams I have coming up, because it's going to be a lot of fun in the next couple weeks for sure. Thanks for everybody for joining me, including all the spam guys from Kick. You're going to go away if that's all you're providing me is with spam. I might get rid of Kick and start doing TikTok live streams. So thanks for everybody for joining me. Will, thanks again for everything, including helping me grow this page, because I want to get asked to go to Lanterns press junkets and Lanterns set visits and all that kind of stuff. And if I do, I'll get you on the list as well.
It's coming, brother. It's coming.
All right. So until next week, beware of my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.